Hey everybody, Dogbird here again, DC Worlds Collide. Today we're going to be exploring the digital universe node called Lambda. This is right after Kappa. This is the one right before you can get the chair, or two after the tiger. So this is an interesting one in which you got to pick the correct path in order to get to the ending. There is a correct path. You simply go to the right here, all the way over to the right, and eventually you come to a part where you can pick to go against a Batman or against Robin. You want to actually choose Batman. That is the actual correct path, and that will take you to the end to the King Shark. You're going to need team roughly powered somewhere between 450 and 500. The King Shark node has a bunch of legendaries on it, pretty good power there. But if you have enough wide enough roster, you could two-tap it and just use some characters. Because don't forget, even if you die, if you killed off some characters, they remain dead for your second attempt. So this is the first node. I mean, this is pretty easy. It starts off around 300k. I, of course, way outperform this because I've been lazy and been casual on this account. This is my second account. I even screwed up here. I didn't get the Lex Jessica Truce combo that you really should be getting. Honestly, because I overpowered this so much, I should be bringing in Constantine to get through this a bit quicker. But I like practicing with this team just so I have that, because I had to run a manual. So I just used Pandora there just to get them out of here. A bunch of Batgirls. Another thing is going to be these buffs or debuffs that you can put on the opposing team are going to be very important as we're going through. So we're going to hit the portal here. We're going to head up towards the Black Manta. Get some coins. We're going to get a buff. We can either increase damage to the back row or the front row. I took back row for starting because there's 3 characters back there, 25%. I usually get through the front row pretty quick. If you're having problems getting through the front row, obviously pick the front row. So you got a couple questions here. The problem with the question, don't forget he can silence people. And I think it's an AoE silence, so it's like a random thing. Don't really use the question too much, so I don't know a whole lot about his kit other than the silence thing because of Crisis Watch. I do recommend using the Bat Cycle if you have the choice between the Bat Cycle, the Mirror, or the Tiger. Tiger does good damage, but my god is it slow. So here I got the combo off, and Jessica's going to go off and kill him. For me, the fights aren't too hard. For you, it might differ. There is a bunch of chests in here, so even once you get to if you go directly to the end, you can end it there and get through, but you won't get all the chests. You have to go back and take them out. So here I'm just reducing tank enemies by 30%. That will be forever in here. Of course, then the next node doesn't have any tank enemies. Just supporting DPS. But so if you wanted to look ahead and you wanted to think ahead, you would take either support or DPS. Support being Harley, DPS being Firestorm. Harley's a kind of a weird character in that she does some random stuff once she goes off. See, one of my problems is I always forget to hit the Bat Cycle when I'm doing manual. And here we go. Kills all but one. So far, so good. So nice and easy for me. Gives you an idea of what you're going to be facing, though. So you can plan accordingly. This is the part where you actually want to take the Batman route. I was just experimenting. I didn't know. I was looking ahead. I was like, I'll take on Robin. He's a little bit easier. And that's also what determined this. If you're actually going against Batman, I suggest taking the strength one, not the agility one like I took. Because I was looking ahead. This is where Black Canaries come into play. Don't forget, Canary can silence somebody that she's across from in the front slot. That means they can be somebody in those back rows too. If she's in the back row, she'll just do whoever's across from her. You can see she actually went for Jessica, and that one went for Kid Flash. Kid Flash got silenced, Jessica did not. So it means if I was using Kid Flash's ultimate, I'd be at SOL until he got rid of that silence. I'm not using his ultimate, I'm just kind of waiting for the Lex Jessica combo. Against a Canary, it's a good thing to use like a Batman or Damian Wayne Robin against as well, just to take them out as quick as possible if you're struggling. So even though I took the wrong path, you're going to have to eventually come here anyway because you want to get the chests and do a full clear. This one I'm looking ahead, I see a green arrow. That's physical damage, so that's why I'm going to pick the decrease 50% on that because I'm about to face 3 green arrows and 2 Kid Flashes. You can see the power has gone up to 458 on the opposing team. This is why I say you need between like 450 to 500 to clear this. As you can see, green arrow didn't hit me for much because I took that 50%. And God forbid you can get all 3 of them going off at once on you. You really don't want that. Here we go for our combo. Green arrow is kind of squishy. And he goes away. And this is where we're going to get the message that we did not find the correct path. And this is going to take us all the way back to the beginning so we can go find the correct path. But it gives you a bunch of hash rate. If you run out of hash rate, you start taking getting debuffs on you. So you just want to stick to one path and go forward, like I said. But actually go for the correct path first, because at the end of the correct path, then you will get a ton of hash rate and you can clear the rest of the nodes, no problem, without having to worry about that. Batman is the one we want to go for. In order to do this, you have to go to the right portal, the first portal first, and then start clicking the portals to go back up that right hand side. I was just kind of guessing. I actually didn't know that this was going to be the correct path at the time when I was doing this. It was just dumb luck. See, we have 462, we have 2 Canaries, 3 Batmans. Not fun. You definitely need some good tanks to take those Batman hits. As you can see, this time Canary and got the Jessica and Kid Flash. Both of them are silenced for 2 turns. Another great thing about that Bat Cycle is it does decrease the healing to recede, so you're dealing with Canaries who can heal the entire team. Wasn't thinking, didn't realize that Jessica Cruz had that debuff, and like, ah, crap. I used Luther, but I don't get the combo because of the silence. Kind of all out of whack now. So I just used Nightwing to stun. I got a stun to help reduce some damage. Pandora does some pretty good damage when she needs to. Okay damage, I should say. And we use Jessica Cruz to finish them off. Don't forget you can also restart nodes in the middle of them with no penalty, other than just restarting that node. So we go across, we're going to be facing off a Constantine. So this time I took the decreased power damage, which is obviously what Constantine has. No silences though, so that's kind of nice, but Kid Flash is pretty quick, obviously. There you go, the Constantines. They didn't hit us very hard, thanks to that debuff we put on them. Okay, I have my combo ready. And we'll just take them out. Oop, all but one. And you'll see when we go through this portal, we will find out we have taken the correct path because we will be in the middle and facing off against the King Shark. And you see we got 99 hash points, more than enough to get through. This is the hardest one, 566 power we're going against. You could punch up against this one. Like I said, you might have to two-tap it and just worry about getting somebody down, preferably like Lex and Wonder Woman if you had a choice. If Flash is the last person standing and then you kill him, he does re-heal himself back up and you have to re-kill him. Superman, if you're not familiar with him, when he gets too low, he gives himself invulnerability until he takes a turn. And Wonder Woman just does a ton of damage. Lex, obviously, we know what he does with the shields. So we got rid of Lex already, because we're waiting on the combo. They actually aren't putting out too much damage because we have the debuffs we've gotten beforehand that really help us. Another thing is if you're having problems with this last node, maybe hold off on it, go do the other nodes, because there are debuffs out there as well that will help bring down the power and help increase your power if you get the buff too. And we also get this a big buff, so if you're going back to clear them, I actually chose to stun 2 enemies at the start. Means they just kind of stand there while you get to beat on them. Really good if you have Constantine built up very high. You get some 8th metal here, or 9th metal. They've renamed it recently. It used to always be called 8th, but now we have like 8th and 9th. So I could end it there, but I chose not to. I go back to the beginning, and I start upon the left path. I just want to get those extra resources out of here as much as we can. We've already conquered it. In worst case scenario, I could just go out and end it if I died too much, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So fairly easy. We just have some Batgirls and Catwomans here. Not even gonna. I don't have a waste using this combo. I'm coming at the point where I should have just brought Constantine in. I do bring him in a little bit later. The reason being, Constantine, you just go off and everything dies or comes close to it. You see, we're going to get more buffs or debuffs. In this case, the basic damage speed buff for us. This is why I'm saying if you have problems with that last enemy, maybe wait and come back and do these other nodes. And it is set up like that in case you need to do that, because you obviously saw I got the hash rate that we need before I attacked that node, so you don't have to actually beat it in order to come back and clear nodes. So the nice thing about that stun is that when you're going against 3 questions who can silence you, it's quite nice not to have to worry about that for a little bit. And there goes question. As you see, he silenced just as I was about to do the combo. Alright, go through the portal. We got a Bizarro coming up. So we already took tank enemies earlier. I took support this time. That actually is like good if you like you're facing those canaries. You want to get them down quicker. And in this case, it's going to be the Harleys are actually affected by that. And we already had the previous 30% against tanks, so Bizarro is knocked down as well. Plus we have that stun. And of course, Jessica being blue and them being red, I mean, she's going to do extra damage against them. You're already rid of one Bizarro. There goes the Harley. They're starting to come out of the stuns. You got the combo. And big hit. Gets rid of them. Through the portal. Now we have Grodd or Bane we can go against. Looking ahead, I know that Grodd could be awfully tanky. He is the intellect trait. So I took the 25% off of intellect. And of course we also have 3 Canaries, who's also intellect. So they're all blue. I finally had enough and I brought in Constantine. I was originally going to bring Santana into it. I said, nah, I'll just bring Kid Flash for the heals instead. So now you can see how much quicker this is with Constantine, because as soon as we get energy, after the first round is up, we will use Constantine's AoE and destroy everything. Goodbye. This is actually the 10th out of there's 11 chests total. I checked the block because we're about to go into a Nightwing, and one thing you don't want Nightwing to do is block. Again, they're all stunned. I'm just waiting for energy at this point. And they're gone. Just like that. You have to go forward, you have to go through the portals, all the way back to the beginning, just so we can clean it up and finish this off. Going against the Bane and 3 Canaries. You see they're about level 165. So you're going to need to be about level 160-ish. You should have your characters at. There comes Constantine, doing tons and tons of damage. Dear Lord, 303 hit there. A crit. That actually gives you the very final box. But in order to get out of here, you actually have to go through the last node, which is a penguin. I just decreased defense. It's not a big deal. It's a 460k teams. If you're beating this, but if you're clearing this out, you already have enough power to get through here. Already through the penguins. Here comes Constantine, and we're going to end this. There we can get my bat cycle off. And now to fully clear it and make sure we do it properly, back to the beginning, back to doing the proper route, so that we get the, make sure it's counted as we full cleared it. Just go into the green. And there you have it. That's the end of Lambda, I think it is. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Until next time, everybody, I hope this video was helpful and informative.